$22.99, dirty cop. He gonna hook it up. Come on, knock the wall. Hook me up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Fuck around with you, boy.
John Diamond made the deal.
Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, crooked cop badge number 2299. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, crooked cop badge number 2299. It's wicked as hell. Arresting a man for nothing, got him sitting in jail. Look down on us, call us niggas when they niggas themselves. Supposed to show them the way, instead they showed them a cell. Fuck nigga, how the fuck is you a man in the Lord? You pull up with white boys and you put niggas in the back of the car, but you wouldn't last a day in their yard with all them killers, them lions and them tigers and them bears and them gorillas. Trying to convince a nigga to snitch on his own brother. Beware the purple Israelite group, they undercover, so pussy ass nigga. Ratting that bitch, tell him take off that badge and I'll bat him in his shit. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, crooked cop badge number 2299. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, crooked cop badge number 2299. False doctrine, a nigga that shot that tranny. The dick pic, the fake pictures on social media, you posing as bitches. The murder on Joe Morgan, how her body came up missing. That scheming nigga cannot stealing that brother bitch. The marching for the rich, but don't do nothing for the poor. The shit them niggas tried on the Kansas City boat. Them purple niggas tried that same bullshit before. Cap told them bitch about my holding treatment like a hoe. Michelle told them they lightweight, they packed up all they shit. Fuck wrong with you, boy, we meant a war around this bitch. Undercover ass, purple badge, and Easter ass bitch. We know cowards on the men prepared to die around this bitch. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, crooked cop badge number 2299. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, crooked cop badge number 2299.
You broke off and created something. God deserves that we stand with him and walk forward. ISUBK, we strong. We ain't weak. No cowards, bitch.
That's right, sir.
Okay? That's how we ride.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, yeah. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my real say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my I can gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves. Shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Rolling hard, wherever I be rolling hard. Trials and tribulations in my life got me rolling hard. Woke up, Lord bless me with another day. Eat shit, shower, and be on my way. Jumped in the two-door, Monte Carlo, solo, with a fofo on my way to get the dough, yo. If you don't work, then you don't eat. Don't be scared to walk through life when you got feet. You gotta run a race, it's a track meet. Can't trust nobody on the street, so you pack heat. Just got a phone call, my homie I grew up with dead. And last night my other partner had his dough kicked in by Fed. Cricket gospel to your hood and hook your steps. Searching till they find your stash box where the gun is kept. I ain't never slept, some dream a fairy tale crime. The judge ain't giving no breaks, he giving jail time. I'ma put my trust and faith in the Lord. Never scarred on the boulevard, always rolling hard. I'm rolling hard, rolling hard. Rolling hard. Wherever I be rolling hard. Trials and tribulations in my life got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard. I believe in this truth, I'll never stop. Gun to my head, knife to my throat, I'll never stop. Ain't or drink nothing, I'll never drop. Rapping words over beats like this, I'll never flop. Pick up your cross, follow your house shot. Living righteous now, that old wicked man had to die. I testify the white man, the devil, he a lie. He the judge, sitting in court to make your mama cry. Christianity had me traumatized. I'll never water down the truth, I can't compromise. I love the Most High more than my own children. My sons and daughters, they hate me, just imagine the feeling. Pain hurts so deep, cut like a machete. Prepare your soul for temptation, you better get ready. I'ma put my trust and faith in the Lord. Never scored on the boulevard, always rolling hard. I'm rolling hard, rolling hard. Rolling hard. Wherever I be rolling hard. Trials and tribulations in my life got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard. If it ain't one thing, it's 5 or 6. That president gon' cause a race war through politics. The way they treat my Mexican brothers on the border. Isaiah 14 and 21 prepare slaughter. Babylon falling, everything gon' flip. Every day of my life, I pray for rulership. I'ma put my trust and faith in the Lord. Never scored on the boulevard. Always rolling hard. I'm rolling hard, rolling hard. Rolling hard. Whatever I be rolling hard. Trials and tribulations in my life. Got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard, got me rolling hard.
All right, this is Rooted Speech, man. We got Captain Tywar in the building.
Yeah.
So, Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rooted Speech, man. Listen, I'll break it down right quick, though.
One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big shine. Big glow, I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya, off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak would have been shot you. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not inside of my conglomerate. Wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm throughout pain that bring trauma. Stay focused on things that bring karma. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect. Pay homage, I'm One West bred, One West vetted, One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I said I've been One West bred. One West vetted, One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now One West about put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain of $1.50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause the niggas getting fouled, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a part, but together. Homie, I've been One West bred, One West vetted, One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. One West bred, One West vetted, One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West.
I'm stroking in on this one.
I'ma show them it's a difference. I'ma only say this once, you better listen. When West is where it started, so you know that's where it finished. We got one main objective, nigga, let's complete the mission. We explaining what the who, lead them bitches and they feelin'. Snub on me, only time I put my nose inside your business. I don't want my gun to show, so I wear my shirt bigger. This is our world, cause if this was your world, I'd be the villain. Break his whole block down, all I gotta do is spin and stuff in Mac Shell drums. Turn your crib to Sunday dinner. You don't live here, you visit, this my shit, it's a difference. I don't do lean, Lobos in my cup is what I'm sipping. I don't do dreams, I just say a prayer, go and get it, and it all work out. You know this ain't for play, this ain't for fun. I've been destined for this shit. Niggas know that I'm the one. This shit can go 100 yards. You would think I kicked a punt. You would think I had a flare gun on go. You niggas run. They like he an Israelite. All he rap about his guns. Bitch, I'm an Israelite that own a lot of guns. What that nigga said? Who? Tell him watch the grind. Yeah, you must be crazy if you ever think of stopping mine. Knock all of the niggas, make them drop a dime. It's Taurus hole 12, it is not a zodiac sign. Piss me off, get me in my bag, make me drop a bomb. Drop a nuke, make the world freeze, I can stop the time. Watch what you do, cause once you do it, you can't press rewind. On purpose, I do the opposite, so nigga cross the line. This is different, I ain't looking for trouble, but on point, case you think I rap. Turn him to a vegetable, lead this nigga Cabbage Patch. No new niggas with me, if you see him, then they got my back. Got it out the mud, big stepping, you can see the tracks. Follow me, I can teach you something, have receive, relax. If you gonna speak on anything, just make sure it's fact. It's a difference, we are not the same. Help them notice that. Pay attention, watch how we move. We can know we can't hang around all real niggas and we move as one. This ain't Fortnite. Get into it, ain't no 1v1. The smoke I bring to you, you can't take it in with your lung. Life about warfare, we just make it look fun. She asked what kind of oil I got on. I told her, give them some. When West the only real niggas left, you better get you one. Chicken shop, giving out wings if I pull a drum. It's a difference, you better watch your words before you eat your tongue. Scrape the whole plate, not a trace nor leave a crumb. Ice falling off the watching chain like it's freezer burn. Daring somebody to say my name, I will eat to him. Loyalty means everything, so I don't eat with them.
One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends, so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nobody a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance. One West rising to prominence. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been the proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron and premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spin like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because UP. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
So special.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spitting. Album so high, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hissing. Been winning so much, they didn't think I put the fix in. Get the game to go my way, they gon' thinking that I rigged it. If I say it in my raps, I would do it or I lived it. What you say in your raps is entertaining, you just kidding. Hard times, I got tired of being broke, so I fixed it. This pole get the job done. Nigga, this is stick shit. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we end this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we end this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights. This
All right, check. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yabashim Hawashai Brakata to the Carnales. Yahawashima Alata Bashim Hawashai to the Mujeres. I mean, to the brothers and sisters, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This, of course, is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Once again, we're the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Journey Hana. And, of course, as y'all know tonight, with America is celebrating its supposed Independence Day, right, Yakawan?
Correct, sir.
God, he says we hear all the fireworks going on as we teach this class, right? Everyone out there celebrating, and the sad part about it is that a lot of Israelites are the ones out there right now celebrating tonight, man. You know, I know it's a day off from work. You know what I mean? During the week, you slave. It's time to get together with the family. You know, and you're gonna celebrate, thinking that you're just having a good time with your family. But lo and behold, man, you're partaking in something that is evil towards so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because this is my question, Israel. This is my question for y'all out there. As y'all out there lighting them fireworks up and trying to eat that abominable food made, right? Ask yourself this, man. Where were your ancestors when on July 4th, right? What was it, July 4th, 1776? That's when the Declaration of Independence was. Let's look at that real quick, man. This is AJ Shalom Makiaba Shabakata. No, I mean that's one thing to ask, right? Where were your ancestors on this day, man? Because a lot of y'all out there celebrating this Independence Day, thinking that it's your Independence Day, it's your, it's our 4th of July because I'm an American, like that whole belief. But little did y'all know, man, that this is not your holiday, Rasa. This is not our holiday, man. This got nothing to do with so-called blacks and Hispanics. Because let me tell y'all this real quick, man. Where were y'all, like, where were our ancestors on this Independence Day? They were out in the fields, man. They were out in the fields in bondage. They were getting hung from trees for, acting, too Mexican. They were, getting their land taken. They were getting forced into boarding schools. All types of things were happening back then, not to our people, man. They were being oppressed, going through hell. And we over here celebrating this oppressors' Independence Day. It wasn't an independence for you, black man and brown man. Brown man and, brown and black woman. This is not your Independence Day. This is the white man's Independence Day, which was their separation from, their Declaration of Independence from Britain. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into it, man. Of course, the title of tonight's class is that love for your brother trumps the 4th of July, right? And I say that because that's why we're not here out there celebrating with, 4th of July tonight. That's why I'm in here teaching class, because I love my people. I love my brothers and sisters, man. I know a lot of y'all out there right now, y'all in the world, y'all don't know any better, but I know the truth, man. I know the truth, right? And know that this is not my culture. This is not my independence, man. It's got nothing to do with my people. It's a mockery, as a matter of fact. It's a mockery. Every time July 4th comes on, man, and I see those stinking American flags everywhere, Yakawan, I think of something that a Gadai brother said, man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show that clip real quick. All right, let me see if I can find that clip real quick of that brother, man. You know what I mean? Because it needs to be said, right? He cut these oppressors, right? Let's see if I can find that clip real quick. Let's see right here. Oh, here it goes. This is my favorite clip right here, Yakawan. You remember this clip?
A Native American.
This is, of course, this is from the Young Turks, but we're gonna play this clip real quick to start the class off. So this is the Young Turks. This is the clip they used.
American interrupted an anti-illegal immigration protest in Arizona. Let's hear what he had to say.
Fight none of you. Exactly. Get on with your bogus arguments. Get on with your bogus arguments. We're the only legal ones here.
We have Native Americans here.
Yeah. We should have put that sign up when you son of a bitches came. Yeah, that's right. It represents blood. That represents blood.
I'll pause it right there, right? That's the heavy right here. What he said, right, Yakawan? He's saying that flag represents blood, right? That flag represents blood, right? Let's see what he keeps.
Protecting this land from the invaders. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You don't want to hear the goddamn truth, do you?
Right. So he said that flag represents blood spilled by my people from the invaders, right? Because that's what you Europeans are. And it's ironic, right, that we celebrate the 4th of July. All these white people, so-called white people, so-called, oppressors, right? Celebrating today, talk about, yeah, freedom this, freedom that. When it is not free for you if you're black or brown, right? What the 4th of July represents, what that American flag represents is the blood of your ancestors spilled at the hands of these Europeans, at the hands of these oppressors, man. That's what today represents, And we've been so brainwashed and so manipulated, right, in this society to hate our own that we'll go celebrate that. We'll go celebrate the 4th of July, try to be patriotic, try to be American. Meanwhile, waving that American flag, that same flag that this brother right here in the video said represents blood. Represents the blood of
bitch. You don't want to hear the truth. That's what that flag stands for. All the Native Americans you killed to plant your houses here. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Get on, bitch.
So of course, these oppressors, man, they just they gonna make light of it, of course, because they know he's talking about them, Now we could, to start off, if you could, Yakawan, go to the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 22. All right, because this is what God thinks of the 4th of July, right? This is what God thinks of you celebrating out there. That's one of the reasons why I don't celebrate this day. Once I came into the truth, right? For one, it's a sin against the Lord. You know what I mean? But two, because of love of my people, man. The love I have for my people, I will never celebrate this day. You know what's crazy is that you will never see the Jewish man celebrate 420. I was talking to the brother about this. Actually, 5/21 now, Salakia. I was talking to the brother about this, right? We brought it out on the show last night. And I was saying, we should go interview the fake, of course, they might not let us, right? They might, come at us with hostility and, of course, we ain't nothing to us. But point being, right? I wonder if those fake Jews, right, the so-called Jewish man, right, if he celebrates, those that get high, if they celebrate 420. You know what I mean, Yakawan? I wonder if they celebrate 420. Knowing that what is that? What is 420? Hitler's birthday, right? So you damn well sure. I bet majority of them do not celebrate 420 for that exact reason. You never see them say happy 420, this and that. That's what it's like for us to celebrate the 4th of July. It's like the Jewish man celebrating Hitler's birthday, man.
That's right.
That's exactly what that is, you know? And our people are so lost and destroyed, we don't understand that. This is what God said. If you could, I pull for me Amos 5:21.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Right. This is what God said. He says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Right now, when y'all out there right now celebrating the 4th of July, God is letting it be known He hates it. He hates the 4th of July. And He also hates y'all getting together, man. He hates your barbecues. He hates your fireworks. He hates all of that. Now read the next verse,
Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
Salakia. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Right? So, you know, y'all out there on the grill, grilling them hamburgers, them hot dogs. You know what I mean? Of course, yeah, a lot of y'all out there probably, you know, grilling that pork, you know, that bacon, all that. Probably a lot of y'all probably grilling lobster and shrimp, you know, doing all that abominable meat, but even the lawful meats, right, that y'all grilling today for the 4th of July, God is saying He will not accept them. Now you can read the next part out.
Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts.
Right, well, it's the same thing. Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts, right? It's the time to get together at the barbecue. What do black and brown people say? Oh, they're invited to the barbecue, man. Well, God is saying He does not accept that, man. He does not accept the peace offering because that's where everyone to come together, right? The Lord looks down on this. Now let's go to the next verse.
Verse 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols.
What do you think they were singing today, Yakawan? You know they were singing the Star Spangled Banner,
God bless America.
Right, God bless America. What is it? All those, you know, Party in the USA, all that. God is saying, take that noise away from me. Take that away from me, the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, right? And you know what else God hates right now? God hates the sound of all them fireworks going off right now. You know what I mean? As we speak, you hear a bunch of fireworks going off, right? You're about to find out, you know, all the... You know, I'll try to pull it out, Lord allow, but in the class to see how the emergency rooms look on the 4th of July of all the injuries from lighting all the fireworks, right? I have a couple stories I want to bring out as well. But God is saying, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. God will not hear the Star Spangled Banner, right? The national anthem. He hates it. And He's saying that take it away from me, man. Hey, Real Jake 144. Hey, Shalom, Yabba. Right. Do not celebrate this day, man. Okay, Khan. Is there any more on that? All right, Khan. That's it for that. So no sweat. So let's continue. You know what I mean? That God is letting it be known that He hates today. He hates the gatherings. He hates the fireworks. He hates the national anthem. And why? You know, it's not hating it for no reason, right? We don't hate it just because we want to be haters or be ungrateful. It's because of what this holiday represents for us. We understand. For the white man, if you're white, if you're European, you go ahead and celebrate today. Light your fireworks up, eat your pork, eat your crab shrimp. Go enjoy while you can. Esau, go gather and go fill them national parks up and go to the ocean and swim. Go get on a submarine and go see the Titanic. Enjoy. You know what I mean? But for us, we better not partake in anything they do, man, because that, you know what I mean? It won't benefit us, man. It's danger for us. God is not with it, man. For any so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American stuff. As a matter of fact, you look like a sucker, man. That's the whole thing. You look like a sucker being Mexican, rocking the red, white, and blue, man. Calling yourself Mexican American. You know what I mean, Yakawan? You look like a fool, man. You know, like celebrating. You know that's like I said, that's like a Jewish man wearing a Nazi, one of them Nazi outfits, man. You know, you look ridiculous, man. Just take pride. Do not celebrate today, man. Go make go home and eat the leftovers from yesterday. Go home, eat some Chinese. Well, I don't know, man. Just do not make anything for the 4th of July. That's more of the point, man. And we'll go as to why, why we shouldn't, right? Because I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, I don't celebrate it because it's what it represents. I celebrate it because um, it's the only time I get to have with my family. Well, God has an answer for that too, man. As He said, He hates the solemn assemblies. It's not a sin to get together with your family, right? It's not a sin to eat lawful meats, but what it is a sin is to partake in this celebration, right? Because it's idolatry. It's against. It's not our culture. It's not our custom, man. And then just to have a sense of pride, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see if I can pull out these stories, man, so we can cover it. Because this is like it's sad. It's such a sad. I don't know, like in the world, of course, I was excited for the 4th of July, because I didn't know any better. I thought for the same reason, it's time for family to get together and come together and have fun, like some fireworks. But we didn't know. I didn't know what I was truly celebrating, man. I didn't know that I really was celebrating that. I was saying I hate my family, right? I didn't know that in celebrating the 4th of July, you're saying you hate your people. So thus, man, we end up lost, man, and end up messed up. So I'm gonna pull out the first story to see if I can. So this is the article, right, from the 4th of July, right, from 2 years ago. Let's see if I can share this real quick on the screen. Actually, might hold off on that. Of course, we got the mass shootings. 1 second, bear with me, Israel, as I bring these articles up. So this is what I want to share, right? This is how much God hates your fireworks. You know what I mean? And that's what people don't understand, Yakuwan. You don't understand that all the bad things that are happening to you on this holiday, God is doing it. You know what I mean? And I'll show you right. We'll pull it out. We'll pull the scriptures out to prove, right? Everything we say, we prove with the scripture. Here's the first incident, right?
Alert now. Woman is dead and 9 others are hurt after an incident with fireworks. Ellie Lynch is at the WKRN.com alert desk with details.
Mikkel, it happened in Park Township, Michigan, at a fireworks show on private property. A 43-year-old woman was unresponsive when first responders arrived and was pronounced dead at the scene. 9 others were hurt, with their injuries ranging from minor to critical. The incident also damaged several homes and vehicles. The deadly firework explosion still remains under investigation. And for breaking news around the clock, you can go to WKRN.com.
Right. So that was an accident that happened, right? That's what God thinks of your fireworks, man. You know what I mean? As I pulled out, right, in Amos 5:21 through 24, right? He said, I hate the noise of your, what is it, thy melodies, take it away from me. He hates the music. He hates all that. And that's why he's letting it be known, right? If you could, I believe it's I'll tell you where it's at right now. Right? To let you know that it's God that does this, right? Go to the book of Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Oh, shoot. We might as well. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, Deuteronomy 32, man. Let's go right there. 32 and what is it? And 39. To let you know that it's God that does that. Because people don't believe that, right? Christian church is partly to blame for that, but God is the one that is behind all this. 32 and 39. Go ahead, Ak, whenever you got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. Seeing now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me, I kill, and I will make alive, and I wound, and I heal.
Right. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. Right. There is no power higher than the Most High. Right. There's a reason why He's called the Most High. He said, "I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal." Go ahead.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Right. Once you get God's judgment, that's it, man. That's it, man. Ain't nothing that can be done to save you, man. You know what I mean? When you get put to death, man, when that freak accident happens, right, and you die, just know that that was God that made it happen. He wounds and He heals and He makes alive. No, we got looks like we got a troll up in here, man. He said, "I can't wait to judge America tonight." No sweat. We know you're not the Most High because, first of all, you got Nasty Nate Jesus as your profile picture. It's like IUIC. Is this you, man? Are you doing your little black ops psyops on our classes again, man? Ain't y'all got nothing better to do? No sweat. But kind, let's continue. You know what I mean? So that's what happens, man. You know, everything, all the bad things that are happening tonight, God is raining His judgment because He is not with the 4th of July, because the 4th of July represents the oppression, right? And then when He sees His people celebrating today, man, it angers Him, it offends Him, right? If you could, Yakuwan, now let's go to the book of Exodus, right? To go to an example of what we're talking about, right? And go to Exodus, the 32nd chapter. Lord allow, we don't have to, but we might have to go a little bit past the time just because of what we're covering. But let's go. Let's get it. So this is Exodus, the 32nd chapter. Of course, are you familiar with what happened during the time, when the Israelites were living? They escaped Egypt, right? And then they started worshiping that golden calf.
When Moses went up to speak to God, and they got, I guess, they got impatient,
right?
And they said that He wasn't going to come back, and they started saying that they should make a god for themselves.
I got it right here in the screen, so we can start reading it. So Exodus 32:1. Whenever you got it out.
32:1, sir?
Yeah, you can start right there.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32, and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is coming of him.
Right. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down, right? So they grew. Moses went up, right, to speak with the Lord, right, and get instruction. These people grew impatient, right? Which is part of the problem, man. They grew impatient and they went to Aaron and said, Up, make us gods which shall go before us, for as far as for this Moses, that the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what has become of him. So they think, Moses took off and he's taking too long to come back, right? They're like, we don't know what happened. So Aaron, make us another God, which is, let me say this, man, that's unbrotherly as hell. You know what I mean? The brother that's in charge of you, right? That led you, that you saw the miracles, right? You saw the miracles that and what the Lord did to Egypt, and now you're gonna not have any faith in the Most High or your brother, and then you're gonna go and go against them and go to Aaron, right? Go ahead, read verse 2.
Verse 2, and Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Right. Aaron said, right, give me your golden earrings, your wives or your son. Give me all your jewelry, right? All your gold. And this is even more unbrotherly, right? To go to Aaron, right, which was at the time, which is Moses' second in command, right? To go behind Moses' back and go to Aaron, and then for Aaron, right, to do this, right? Go ahead, read the next verse.
Verse 3. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
So they got their jewelry, right, all their gold, and brought it to Aaron. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 4. And he received them at their hands, and fashioned it with a great graving tool, after he had made a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Right. And he received them right out of their hand. In fact, he made the golden calf, right? And then the people saw that, right? And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Now they didn't give the credit to the Most High. They gave it the credit to the idol, right? But here's really what it is, right? I think it was Jeremiah. I forgot who broke it down, right? The idolatry, right? But all the golden calf, right? All that. The idolatry is really self-worship. They're really saying God didn't get us out of here. We got ourselves out of here. We're going to do what we want to do. We're going to go celebrate the 4th of July because we're not in slavery. We're not oppressed today. You know, that's got nothing to do with me. They're not their ancestors. I'm going to go celebrate today. That's what they're doing. This is what they were doing back then. Go ahead, Kanan.
They said, we're already out. We
right.
We don't need anybody.
Right. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Keep reading, Kanan.
Verse 5. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
Right, so Aaron saw it and he built an altar before it and made a proclamation. He was trying to justify it, right? That's why he said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. He thought, you know, what is it that people today say? Oh, it's all the same God. It's got different names, you know. It's all the same, right? That's basically what he was doing. And Khan, go ahead, read verse 6.
Verse 6. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
So they got together, right? They offered burnt offerings, brought peace offerings. Everyone got together and they were drinking and playing, you know, all the children together. It's a family time, you know, just like today. What are we doing today? Everyone's getting together. They're making peace offerings, burnt offerings, you know, making that food, getting together, celebrating the 4th of July, right? Getting ready to launch the fireworks. So what people don't understand, right, is that no matter what you do, right, the Lord, you know, would you know, the Lord sees everything. There's nothing you can do to hide, you know, to hide from the Lord. And he will come down and you will get his judgment, right? God. Yeah. Trolls kill me, man. Now they're okay, go ahead. Read verse what is it?
7.
Yeah, Khan, go ahead.
Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for the people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
Right. So God's telling Moses, like, these people right now, they corrupted themselves, right? The people that I freed out of the land of Egypt, right, out of bondage, are corrupting themselves. Keep reading that.
Verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, There be thy God, O Israel.
These be thy gods, O Israel. Go ahead.
These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Right. So the Lord's telling Moses what he saw, right? Like, he sees his people, they made the golden calf, they're worshiping it, they're sacrificing unto it, and now they're giving the credit to the golden calf and not to me. This angered the Lord, right? This was great offense unto the Lord. Now read verse 9.
Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen these people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
Right.
Verse 10. Now therefore let me alone.
Salakia. Let me say this. The Lord said, right, I've seen this people, and that is a stiff-necked people, meaning they're hard-headed. You can't convince them, right? For, I'm pretty sure Aaron was trying to tell them, like, hey, man, nah, you can't do that. It's wrong. And they're like, nah. They were still in their ways. They were saying, you know what? God is not real. Moses is not. He's not coming back. Make us this golden calf, right? They were probably, like the way today, like when we, tell people they're Israelite, especially, when it comes to my people, hey, I don't want shalom, right? What do we hear? From a lot of indigenous people, because of what this oppressor did. They're like, F your God, F your Bible, right? I'm not following that. Miss me with that, right? That's what they say. Well, this is what they were doing back then. They were saying, forget your God, forget your Bible, forget your commandments. We're gonna do, we have our own culture, and this is what really freed us. This is what they're saying. Keep going, Kana.
Verse 10. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them,
right?
And that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation.
So, give me a second. No, go ahead. There's a God said, now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. He was gonna wipe out the entire nation for that offense that they did out there. He was gonna wipe out all of them and just leave Moses, start the Mosesites, because of this great offense that they did, man. Because they basically spat in the Lord's face, right? The Lord did all this. He plagued Egypt. He did all this for them, and their thank you was spit in his face. We're not gonna give him credit for getting us out of here. We did it. You know what I mean? That's basically what they were saying. So the Lord said, I'm gonna wipe them out and start a nation with you, right? But this is how brotherly Moses is, right? And how much love Moses had for his people and for the Lord, right? Could I go to verse 11?
Verse 11.
Or sorry, we read the whole 10, right? He said, okay, Khan.
Verse 11. And Moses besought the Lord his God and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand?
Right. He's asking, Lord, why are you, that angry, Lord? Keep reading. Read verse 12.
Verse 12.
He's like, you want to wipe them out. Why do you want to wipe them out, Lord? That's basically what he's asking them. Because if you read the next verse, he's gonna continue, right? Like,
wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth.
Right. If I could, he's asking the Lord, like, why do you want to wipe them out, Lord? I understand they made you that angry, but if you wipe them out, right, everyone's gonna say that you're basically an unjust God, because you freed them just to wipe them out, to exterminate them, right? For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people, right? That's what he's like he's like, Lord, if I understand they drove you to this great anger, but if you wipe them out, if you exterminate them, right, and just leave me, everyone's gonna think that you're not a just God. They're gonna think, that you just freed these people out just to exterminate them, right, to wipe them out. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou sworest thine own self.
Right. He's telling them, remember, Lord, you made an oath, right? The oath you made. Keep reading.
And said unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and shall inherit it forever.
Right. You probably you made the oath with Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, right? Or as we say, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And you're gonna have this. You set this land apart from now. There's gonna be nobody to get the land. It's just me, right? Go ahead. You can go to verse 14.
Verse 14. And the Lord repented of the evil that which he thought to do unto his people. Verse 15.
Constantly, and the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people, right? The Lord said, "You're right, Moses." You know what I mean? This was probably like, give the brother a hand. He loves his people. Go ahead. Verse 15.
Verse 15. And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the two table and the two tablet table.
Let me see.
And the two tables of the testimony were in his hand.
Keep reading that. So of course he has the two tables of his testimony. Keep reading.
The tables were written on both their sides, on the one side and on the other were they written. Verse 16. And the tables were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God, graven upon the tables.
So on both these tables, right, he has God's words on there, right, that the Lord instructed him to write down and mark down, right? Keep reading.
Verse 17. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp.
So when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moses, there's a noise of war in the camp, right? He already knew this is about to go down because he sees what they're doing, right? He hears what they're doing. Keep reading that. Verse 18.
Verse 18. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout from the mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear.
Right, so they're singing their songs, they're having a party, they're having a good time, celebrating this calf, right? Keep reading.
Verse 19. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh into the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot.
Right. So now Moses is angry. He came into the camp. He saw what they were doing, right? Worshiping that calf, dancing, partying, right? Celebrating, doing their idolatry, right? And it angered him, right? Because he knew as it angered the Lord, right? He got offended, right? Because it's evil what they were doing. Now go ahead. Keep reading.
And he cast the tables out of his hand and break them beneath the mount.
Right. He broke the tables on the mount, right? But he was so angry seeing this, he broke them, right? And he took right. Go ahead, verse 20.
Verse 20. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it.
Right. So he took the calf, burnt it right with fire, ground it down to powder, and then it's in water, right? So the whole because they had to put the fire out, obviously all that puddle of the ashes and everything, he made them drink it. Oh, good night. Go ahead, verse 21.
Verse 21. And Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto Salakia? What did these people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great of sin upon them?
Right. So Moses now is asking Aaron, like, what is this? Like, explain, right? Like the general would say, explain. Why did you do this? And go ahead, read the
verse 22. And Aaron said, let not thy anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest that the people, that they are set on mischief.
Right. So he said, I did this because these people were acting out, right? They were gonna be up to no good and harm me, Go ahead, keep reading that.
Verse 23. For they said unto me, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is come of him.
Right. So of course he's explaining like, oh, they're saying, that they didn't think you were gonna come back. So of course I did this because they were already, like plotting against me, ready to, like kill me and harm me. Right. That's what he's talking about when it says the mischief. Right.
Verse 24. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf.
Right. So of course he's saying like I took their gold. I made, like he's explaining to Moses what happened. You can go ahead. You can read verse 25.
Verse 25. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked on their shame among their enemies. Verse 26.
Right. So of course the shame is upon them because you know what they did. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side?
Right. So Moses now he's at the I stood at the gate of the camp, right above everybody, and said, who's on the Lord's side? Keep reading.
Let him come unto me, and all the sons of Levi gathered.
Good, nice. Go ahead.
And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him.
Right. So all the Levites, all the Levitical priests came up, right, came forward.
Verse 27.
Oof. Right.
And he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side.
Right. Go ahead.
Keep
reading. Go ahead.
And go in and out from the gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor.
Right. So as he said, and he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and go out from gate to gate throughout the camp. Go throughout the camp and execute every man, every man, of course, talk about his brother, his companion, everybody that was involved in this, that was celebrating, every man, put him to death, execute him. Good night. That's a rough one right there. Let me say this, like tonight, it's sad to think about it, man, but how many Israelites you think are gonna die tonight? How many are gonna pass away because they either got too drunk, got behind the wheel, crashed? Some altercation's gonna happen, and someone's gonna harm somebody. They're gonna shoot one another. There's probably an argument's gonna happen over a woman at a party, and you're gonna see that brother kill that other brother over it. Arguments are gonna happen. Just all types of bad situations gonna happen. Someone's probably gonna blow themselves up, right? Do something where they're gonna die as a result of celebrating tonight. Go ahead, Al.
We're going to hear of some establishment blew up because there's too many fireworks.
Right. And all that is God. God is doing all of that because this day offends him. Israelites celebrating today is the same offense that these Israelites did during the time of Moses when they left Egypt. You're out there celebrating the 4th of July, not realizing that you're no different than them cats that were celebrating that golden calf. Right? Because they wanted to go back to being Egyptians. They wanted to be slaves, and that's what you're doing today when you celebrate today, man. You're saying that you want to be a slave, that you hate your people, and you love your oppressor, and that goes against your brother. That goes against God. Right? Keep reading now. Where were we at?
Verse 28. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moses, and there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men.
How many?
3,000 men.
3,000 men died that day, right? For the offense they did unto the Lord. Now I'm going to give you a clear example of that, right? I'm going to share this story real quick, right? I'll read it out. You know what I mean? This is an article, I think this is from 2 years back, right? If you can see it on the TV, I'll share it on my screen right here on the screen. It's from the LA Times. More than a dozen Angelenos dead in bloody 4th of July weekend, right? A man was fatally shot and a woman was wounded in a car-to-car shooting that occurred in a Venice neighborhood, police said. The incident began Monday about 2:30 a.m. near the intersection of Brooks and 6th Avenues, right? This story was from 2 years ago, right? Because you can only imagine tomorrow all the stories you're going to hear about incidents like this, right? And of course, it's Judites in the picture, right? You see the car flipped over. When Keena Evans heard gunshots early Monday morning outside her Venice apartment, the first thing she did was call her son. Ty Bray, 18, a 2021 Venice High School graduate, had been driving home with a friend and his lovingly restored 1979 Cadillac when shots rang out at about 2:30 a.m., she said. The passenger, who was the one that answered the phone, Evans said she didn't know where she was. Surveillance footage shows the Cadillac being chased by another car for several blocks. Police said the pursuer fired repeatedly into the car before Bray flipped it into the yard of a home on Rose Avenue. The passenger was taken to the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds, and Bray was pronounced dead at the scene, making him one of more than a dozen Angelenos killed this 4th of July weekend. Police cannot immediately say if this holiday weekend was bloodier than past ones, but killings in LA have continued to surge in recent months, following a 31% increase across California in 2020, right? According to the Los Angeles Police Department data collected through June 26, local shootings were up more than 50% for the same period last year. So the previous year during the 4th of July weekend, shootings went up by 50%, right? And homicides were up about 25%, man. So good night, man. All this that happened over the 4th of July weekend, Israel, take a hint, man. Do not partake in this holiday. When you're getting put to death, when you die, that's because God is doing it, right? That's why the example you go back to is during the time of Egypt, when those Israelites were celebrating that golden calf, and God was ready to wipe out the entire nation and just let Moses start a whole new nation with Moses. Wake up, Rasa, man. It's not gonna end well, man. Just let it go. We don't have to. The Bible. I'll give you the scriptures that say what we're supposed to do, right? But it says the violence is worse than it has been in years. Many in the community say, "I've been working here 21 years, and before it was rare to see something like that." Said Hugo Mendez, who manages the 76 gas station half a block from the wreckage on Rose Avenue. So that was his Cadillac flipped over in the picture, right? The brother that passed away that day, man. Among the dead, right, was Luis Mendoza, who was killed right between Friday afternoon and Monday morning. The LAPD recorded 12 killings, and the sheriff's department at least 4 more. Among the dead was Luis Mendoza, who was killed Saturday afternoon in a shooting on Highway 60 in Hacienda Heights. His 2 teenage sons, who were in the car with him, were injured. 12 hours later, Fatima Johnson was found slain in her home in South LA. In addition to Bray, at least 2 other Angelenos were shot to death Monday before noon. This has been the worst uptick in violence I've seen in my lifetime, said Najee Ali, a community activist and a friend of Johnson, who said when he was found hogtied and rolled in a carpet. Good night. There's been a dramatic increase in gun violence, not just locally, but nationally. Someone who called for the realignment of resources, but we've never called for the police to be removed from South LA. Of course, you see the propaganda is the other part of that. Now they're going to use this to justify and say, we need more police, right? I don't know if you were watching Black Watch, but they were kind of going over the 2 shootings that happened over the weekend, right? Not kind of, but they were going over the shootings that happened over the weekend and saying how America is using that as propaganda to say why we need more police. And as you can see, that's been going on. They use That's what this oppressor is going to use. They're going to use the violence from the 4th of July, from tonight, and from the previous, 3 nights, and say that this is why we need more police, and use that against us. That's what I'm saying, Rasa. This is why we shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July. You know what I mean? This doesn't benefit us, man. This is not for us. Alicia Dominique, hey, shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemar Allah Bashim Yahushai. God damn. I'm still cracking up at this cat, man. He and others believe the surge in violence is part of the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. Data from 2020 show a clear increase in shootings and killings that has yet to level off. Shootings are still far less common than they were in the 1990s, but that's little consolation for the families and friends of young victims like Bray. Ty was the most positive people you ever met. All he cared about was supporting his family, said Joseph J.R. Rotimi, a former Venice High football teammate of Bray, who wept along with dozens of others at the crash site Monday morning. He was the man of the house. You know, Bray never had been in trouble, had never even been fingerprinted. His mother said when he graduated June 12th, he bought himself a suit. He bought himself a suit rather than throw a party. He didn't get to wear it yet, she said. I mean, what more you need, man? What? Go back to Exodus. What did it say? It said the men, the neighbors, all that, right?
Keep going, sir.
Khan, keep going now. Where are we at?
Verse 29.
Khan.
For Moses, verse 29. For Moses said, consecrate yourselves today to the Lord, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day.
Right. So side with the Lord, right? And he'll bless you, right? But if you side with the people who worship the calf, you die, right? Go ahead. Go to verse 30.
Verse 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, ye have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Lord. Peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin.
Right. So now he's going to go to the Lord, right, and make an atonement for the sin, right? Make things right. That's why he had to go execute all them brothers, right, that were sold, because that's the way he was going to make it right. Go ahead, keep reading that.
Verse 31. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold. Verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written.
Right. So now he's saying, Lord, if you won't forgive me, right, then take me out of the, basically wipe me out with them, like if you're not going to, forgive us, right? Because he said, I saw these people have made a great sin, right? So forgive them, Lord. Because what is he was going to wipe out the Israelites because of this sin? Go ahead,
So like it, sir, it says, block me out of thy book that thou hast written. Did he already say that he already have a book, or?
I mean, that it might have been known then. He was writing the books, right? Like it kind of like everything is getting. He knows that everything gets written down and recorded, so that's why But of course, it takes it's context. Like the scriptures say. You paraphrasing it like about getting removed out of the book of life, right? So basically, if you're gonna take them out, take me out with this basically.
Salaki, sir, that's crazy how that knowledge was already like in Moses' time.
God. Like you said.
I'm on verse 34, sir. You want me to keep going?
Right, keep reading that.
Verse 34. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, mine angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them.
Read verse 35.
Verse 35. And the Lord plagued the people because they made calf which Aaron made.
Right. So then the Lord plagued them. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you don't want to get on the Lord's bad side.
So not only 30,000, well, 30,000 men died,
but they also got they received the plague.
There was an aftermath.
You know. So I'm saying, man, like during that time you had COVID-19 during the time of that story, right? But we'll go into some more examples. Now I'm gonna pull these two situations, right?
Maryland. Yet another shooting. Multiple deaths reported with dozens of people injured. A large police and emergency medical response at the scene, as you can imagine. ABC's Ike Ajachi is in Baltimore right now. Ike, good morning.
Good morning. It's a tragic start to the 4th of July weekend here in Baltimore. 2 people dead and 28 others injured from this shooting. All this as law enforcement officials were already on high alert for that typical surge of violence that we see on holiday weekends.
I got one chest wound, in and out both sides. Need a medic.
Overnight, chaos in Baltimore after a mass shooting that left 2 dead and 28 injured.
For the record, we don't have control of the scene. We don't have control of the scene.
Gunfire erupting as hundreds gathered for an event in the neighborhood of Brooklyn Homes. Witnesses saying they heard as many as 30 shots, according to local affiliates. Police say an 18-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene.
I need somebody down here, okay?
God, man.
9 people transported to the hospital. 20 more went to the hospital on their own. 1 man was later pronounced dead, and 3 victims are still in critical condition.
This is an extensive crime scene. Our detectives are going to be here quite a while.
Authorities have not released information about a suspect or a possible motive.
And we're going to be here until we find them, until we hold them accountable, until they are held accountable for the actions that they took, because we cannot rest until they do so.
Now, law enforcement officials say they'll be on scene here for a while investigating this massive crime scene. And as of now, no word on any suspect or a possible motive. Back to you guys.
All right, Ike Ajachi at the scene of yet another mass shooting. Ike, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking.
All right, so you heard they're pleading for help. You know what I mean? That 911 call, just to show how ugly the situation. That's what's happening, man. Look, here's some video from it.
Fire after a block party last night in Fort Worth. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
This is what the Lord thinks of your 4th of July.
The crowd gathered in the Como neighborhood following the Como Fest Independence Day celebration. Police have said very little about this investigation, and they have not released any suspect descriptions. And the limited response by city leaders after 3 people were murdered and 8 more wounded has frustrated some communities, especially after this event 2 years ago, had the chief on scene and informing the public. Times have changed. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is in Fort Worth, where she talked with a family of 1 murder victim today. Peyton?
Even it's still unclear how many shooters there were. No arrests at this time, according to Fort Worth police. But police tell us they're still trying to comb through surveillance video, cell phone video, and flock camera video to figure out exactly what led up to this shooting.
Look at this, man. There's your happy 4th of July. That's what God thinks of your 4th of July, man.
Video captures the chaos in West Fort Worth's Como neighborhood Monday evening. Oh my God! I can't help! Police say just before midnight, multiple people opened fire where a large crowd was gathered off Horn Street. 3 people were killed, 8 others injured. The shooting, multiple people opened fire where a large crowd was gathered off Horn Street. 3 people were killed, 8 others injured. The shooting took place about an hour and a half after Como Fest ended, a community celebration to kick off July 4th. Surveillance video obtained by Fox 4 shows a mass of people running and ducking for cover once gunfire erupted. On the two people shield a child from the gunshots up against the Como Food Mart. The wounded were rushed to hospitals in both private vehicles and ambulances.
So I ran this way because I knew my boys were on this end.
Tuesday afternoon, Kadesha Weatherly sat next to the spot where her son, 18-year-old Paul Timothy Willis, was shot and killed. The mother of two was at the shooting scene last night.
They didn't even let my baby make it to college. I just want them to remember his name, not just an 18-year-old victim, and the young lady as well. Her name should be said.
22-year-old Cynthia Santos was also killed.
Yeah,
Her
but
family
they were
tells
like
Fox
that.
4 she came to celebrate July 4th with her friend. One woman her frantic route to safety. Screams are heard from victims before more gunshots.
Let me say this, man. This is heartbreaking. You know what I mean? I don't want people to get this twisted and think that I'm over here boasting and saying, see, oh, like you deserve this and that. Nah, man. Like, it's tragic and it's horrible and it's sad, that these young men and women, right, especially one being Israelites, but two, right, like being, the compassion we have, that's heartbreaking, and it makes me sad, and I don't wish this on my people, man. But but bigger point of this is that God is not with us when we celebrate these holidays, and you're in danger. You know what I mean? We don't have the Lord's protection when we sin against Him. So thus you get situations like this when we don't have brotherhood, when we don't have structure, right? That the UPK teaches. You get situations like this because look, best believe this incident, this whole altercation started. Best believe it was over some nonsense, right? Probably over a woman. Somebody was drunk. Probably someone said something to offend someone else. Then a fight broke out, and the other person thought it necessary to pull a gun out and start shooting. And then Esau, being the devil that he is, uses these situations to push the propaganda against us. You know what I mean?
You good? Oh my God! Oh my God! A motive is still unclear. Fort Worth PD provided a written update on the investigation Tuesday, saying several unknown males started firing and then took off.
Several unknown males.
Overnight.
There's probably two groups that had issues with one another. One cat probably got into it with another cat. Best believe I would not be surprised it's over a woman. Number one cause of all these altercations is over a female, man. You know what I mean?
The Fort Worth police captain offered a brief on-camera update.
We don't know if this is domestic related, if it's gang related. It's too early to at this point.
So that's enough. I mean, I'll just share this one, man. I had the other one from what happened in, I think, in Delaware, but let's just share it. This is so you could go to Jeremiah the 10th chapter, right? We're gonna go over a couple more precepts and then we'll close out. There we got it.
10:1.
Ka.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Right. Hear this. Hear what God is trying to tell you, Israel. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. That's how you know who the Lord is talking to, right? Now read verse 2.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Right. Learn not the way of the heathen. 4th of July is the way of the heathen. Lighting fireworks is the way of the heathen. Getting at another man's woman at one of these functions is the way of the heathen. Starting a fight with somebody just because you got some issue with them that you didn't work out is the way of the heathen. Because the heathens don't have brotherhood, don't have the laws and brotherhood, right? They're not oppressed like you, black man and woman, brown man and woman. So they don't have the anger issues you have, right? because day in and day out, you just got to keep taking that oppression. You got to keep accepting it. You can't be mad about it, right? You got to keep loving the so-called white man. You got to keep loving America. After everything is done to you, you got to keep loving them. There's an incident that happened, and I'm gonna probably cover this in the radio show, but a street vendor was assaulted. Another one, right? By an Edomite because she was walking through his apartment. It's big on the internet right now, right? But imagine that you got to endure that day after day, man. These oppressors treat you like you're below them, and you have to answer to them. Whether they're under slavery, whether you're on whether you live in an apartment, whether you're driving down the street, man. These oppressors constantly remind you that they have their foot on your neck, man. You can only imagine what that does to you psychologically and mentally, Keep reading that.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? These heathens are such, simple-minded, right? They worship the sun. They worship everything other than the Lord. And they get dismayed at the signs of heaven. They think, the clouds make a funny formation. They get scared by that. They think the moon turns red. The moon's going to be red tonight from all the smoke in the air, They're going to think that's some apocalyptic sign. You know what I mean? The heathen get dismayed at that, right? But the Lord is telling you not to be dismayed at it. They're celebrating the 4th of July. You know why? Because they think the world's going to end real soon, which it more likely is, But, for them, because, World War III is around the corner, but they know, that they have but a short time. We shouldn't be like them and fear that, right? What we should be doing right now is turning back to our identity and our culture, right? We should be coming in here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, learning this brotherhood and sisterhood, learning to love your brother as yourself so that you can prevent situations like the ones we showed earlier, right? Those 3 young men and women would be alive today if the perpetrators, right, that unalived them knew brotherhood, knew about being brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Come on, let's keep getting it out. Now, if you could, Yakawan, go to the book of Proverbs 3:31. Of course, Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, is talking more about why you shouldn't celebrate Christmas, but it still stands, right? That first part, learning not the way of the heathens, because, you know what I mean? That all this is the way of the heathen. 4th of July, Christmas, all these holidays, that's their ways, man, and we should not be following that. We should not be learning their ways. There you got it, come on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Right. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. You're celebrating the 4th of July today because you envied the oppressor. You choose his ways. And what is the result? You end up unalive. You end up dying. You know what I mean? That the Lord is telling us not to envy him and choose none of his ways. The Lord is telling us not to rock no red, white, and blue. Don't wave that American flag and try to be like them. You know what I mean? That's what God is saying. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason why we do it. That's why we're Latinos for Trump. That's why we become Republicans and call ourselves Mexican American because we want to be like them. We envy them so bad. We follow their ways. We want to be white so bad because we've been indoctrinated to believe so, man. Because of your Christian pastor. That's why. You know what I mean? Con. Now you could, and the result is that we die, right? We want to be like the Egyptians, like the Romans, like the Greeks, and we die. Now, if you could, go to the book of Isaiah 31:1. The reason why the Lord said this actually goes with what happened in Exodus 32nd chapter. It starts right there. You know what I mean?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Woe to who?
Go down to Egypt for help.
Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Right?
And stay on horses and trust in chariots.
Right. And stay on horses and trust on chariots. Right? Basically, right? Keep reading that.
Because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong.
Right.
But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
Right. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Right? You envy the oppressor. You celebrate the 4th of July. You don't want to come in here because you don't trust in the Lord. You don't look into the Most High. And that's what offended the Lord back then during the time of Aaron, right, in Egypt. Because instead of trusting in the Lord, instead of trusting in Moses, you went and turned to Egypt, right? Instead of trusting in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana, you trust in your Christian pastor. You trust in America, right? Because America, what's today? America's the strongest country, the greatest country in the world, right? And you rather go be an American than be an Israelite. You rather believe in Cesar Borgia than believe in Yahweh, right? And during that time, the Lord showed you that he was with your nation. He showed you, black man and woman, brown man and woman, he showed you that he was with y'all when he put those plagues on your oppressors. One day you're going to see again today the plagues that God is putting on America. You saw what he did with COVID-19. You're seeing the things that happen when you celebrate these high holy days, but you don't want to trust in the Lord. Right? You don't want to serve the Most High because you want to serve yourself. And you look to vain things because you can't see the power of God. That's how lost and destroyed we are. Right? We've got about 2 more precepts out, and we're going to close it out. All right? Now, if you could, go to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. Right? That's basically what Isaiah 31 and 1 is saying. Woe to them that go to Egypt for help. And that's what happened to them brothers and sisters that were celebrating that golden calf, right? Destruction came onto them because woe means destruction. Whenever you got it, come on. This is Christ speaking, right? Salaki, you hear that, right? You hear an ambulance going now. What do you think that's going to right now? Or where is it coming from right now? You know something just happened. You know what I mean?
Medical emergency.
Right, going to some medical emergency, man. And people are not going to understand that that's the result of celebrating today, man. Go ahead, Kana. Whenever you got.
Book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Right. No man can serve 2 masters. Rather, he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, right? You cannot say that you celebrate today because it's a holiday and you're still with God. You're not with God if you're celebrating today, right? You can't call yourself an Israelite and you're celebrating the 4th of July as we speak, right? No man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Now, Wak, if you could, go to the book of 1 Corinthians, the 8th chapter, right? We're going to go right there. This is the cut, right, to when fake Israelites say they get together, and to Christians and everyone else that says, oh, we get together, we don't celebrate it because it's the day, but we celebrate because it's our, we come together just to celebrate because we get the day off and it's time for us to be with our family. No sweat. This is what God says. Go ahead, Ad.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 1. Now as touching things of Salakia. Now as touching things of
No sweat, I got. Now is touching things offered unto idols.
Salakia. Now as touching things offered unto idols.
Right.
We know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge putteth up, but charity edifieth.
Right. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edify. Right. What's charity? Compassion. Compassion edify. Right. Knowledge puffeth up. Right. You think you learn something. You think you know everything. Now you think you're all big and this. You know what I mean? You think you know everything. Read the next verse, Zach.
Verse 2. And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know.
Right, especially fake Israelites, they come around, speak against today and act like they know everything. But what this was saying, if any man think he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing. You really know nothing. And you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth, right? Your brotherhood, the compassion you have, that's what's going to teach you something, right? And this is why you can't celebrate today. This is the main reason. Right, yeah. Can't tell if they gunshots or if that's, fireworks. You know what I mean? But, and if any man think he know anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know, right? You think you know everything, you know nothing, but yet as he ought to know, right? So, like I said, the fake Israelites, they think they know everything. Christians think they know everything. People in the world think they know everything. You know what I mean? They say, "Oh, well, we know the history of what the 4th of July is and what America is." But I'm still gonna, celebrate because it's time for me to be with my kids and my family. It's the only day I get off, right? Say, charity edifieth, right? Compassion edifieth. Because you have love for your brothers and sisters. That's why you shouldn't celebrate today. Keep reading.
Verse 3. But if any man love God, the same is known of him.
Right, but if any man love God, the same is known of him. Right? So you say you love God, the same is known of you. Now keep reading out.
Verse 4. As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world.
Right. As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other. There's none other God but one, right? So we know the food made today, right? Like we know the barbecue, all that made, right? We don't think, oh nah, man, like I'm not there at the barbecue because I want to celebrate the 4th of July. I just want to go there and get something to eat the food. It's nothing to me, right? Keep reading that.
Verse 5. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many. Verse 6. But to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him.
Right. So we know that, like their holidays, that's their celebrations, their gods. But I celebrate the true God. I celebrate the Most High. Right. I worship the Most High. Says celebrate. I worship the Most High. Then people, they celebrate today worshiping the other gods and all that. But it means nothing to me. I don't celebrate today. I'm just here with my family. I'm just here to eat, man. Keep reading.
And one Lord, Yahushua Mashiach, by whom are all things, and we by him.
Right. So, of course, we in him and one Lord, Yahushua Mashiach, by whom all things are, and we by him, right? We follow Christ. We follow the Most High, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. howbeit there is not every man that knowledge, for some with
Conscience of the idol.
with conscience of the idol unto their hour eat as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled.
Right. Howbeit that there is that not in every man that knowledge, right? Not everyone knows today, right, that today is a day offered unto an idol. That when you celebrate the 4th of July, you're going against your own people. So you're at that barbecue, right? That gathering, you're out there while they light fireworks, you're right there chilling with them. There's a brother in there that doesn't know the truth, right? That doesn't know you're not down with the day, right? That you know the true history of America, that you know what it really represents, and you're not there for that. But because you're right there eating the food and you're amongst the people, he's gonna see you there, and he doesn't know the truth. He doesn't know what you know. Keep reading.
Verse 8. But meat commended us not to God, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse.
Right. So I mean, whether you eat it or not, you're better nor you're worse, right? Keep reading.
Verse 9. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours becometh a stumbling block to them that are weak.
Right. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. Right. That brother that doesn't know you're in the truth, right? That but or doesn't know the truth, sees that you're an Israelite, sees that you're learning, right? You represent what you know, and you follow what you follow, but he sees you there because you're eating the food because you're hungry, right? You're not there to celebrate the day, but you're just there to see the family real quick and eat the food. He thinks you're celebrating the 4th of July. So thus now he thinks it's okay to celebrate the 4th of July. And to that, the Lord, it's an offense unto the Lord, right? Read the next verse out.
Verse 10. For if any man see thee which has knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat these things which are offered to idols?
Right now, because he sees you right there chilling, right? He knows you're an Israelite, and he's all like, oh, okay, so it must be okay for me to celebrate this day, right? Since he's right here, you know what? God must be okay with this day. Keep reading that.
Verse 11. And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish for whom Christ died.
Right, so and through the knowledge shall the weak brother perish for whom Christ died. Now he's asking, right? That's what Christ died for you to not to let that brother, for you to be a stumbling block for that brother. Keep reading that.
Verse 12. But when ye sin, but when ye sins so against the brethren and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Christ.
Right. So if you're right there, doing what you're doing and making your brother think it's okay to celebrate the 4th of July, you're sinning against Christ, right? You're going against Christ, right? That's unbrotherly to do, right? Because that brother's weak. He's looking to you for strength. So if he's looking for you to lead him out, to get him away from celebrating days like today, from eating the food that was made for today. Now read verse 13.
Verse 13. Wherefore, if meat make my brother, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend.
Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend, right? So now I'm not going to celebrate the 4th of July because to be as an example to my carnales, right? To my carnales in the world that are learning this truth, right? To know what it is to resist, right, against this oppressor, to go against this colonizer, right? To truly decolonize, right? I will not celebrate the 4th of July so that I don't lead them astray, right? So they can be strong to resist. That's brotherhood. For my brothers and sisters, that's why I don't celebrate today, right? so that other people can see, right, that we truly are about that we're not hypocrites, right, that we're not going to lead you to think that it's okay to celebrate today. Because how hypocritical is that to think that I speak against America and I speak against the evil they do, and I'm right there celebrating their holidays, right? I'm waving an American flag as I speak against America, right? That's a stumbling block, right? You know what I mean? If I go celebrate, if I speak against the gathering of the 4th of July and I'm right there with them, that's a stumbling block. And that's also hypocrisy. That's against Christ. That's against the Lord. And that's unbrotherly to do, man. Con, what's the last precept? And then we're going to get out of here. And then lastly, I go to Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. And then we're going, that's the last precept.
Book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Right.
I would thou wert cold or hot.
Right. I know that. This is Christ speaking, right? I know that works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot, right? So Christ is saying, I know that works. So, you're not cold or hot, right? He's I'd rather you be one or the other.
Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Right. So because thou art lukewarm and neither cold or hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Right. Basically saying he's going to reject you because really there's no such thing as lukewarm. That's what he's saying. You're either with me or you're not. So if you're lukewarm and trying to make it seem like you can't be on my side, you're not on my side, and I reject you, man. I don't know. Depart from me. I never knew thee. You know what I mean? And a lot of times that attitude is an unbrotherly one that you have, right? If you can't side with your brother who you say you down with, right? But you're going to side with his enemigas, you don't love that brother. You're with his enemigas. You're against him. And that's what Christ is saying. So that's the reality of it, man. So if you're for your people, man, if you're tired of the oppression America puts your people under, you got to start by not celebrating today, man. You better start by not going to those 4th of July cookouts, those fireworks shows, man. That's how you resist that. That's how you fight against this oppressor, man. Start by giving up the 4th of July and decolonizing, man. Start there. But with that concludes tonight's class, man. Of course, we're the ISUPK, as I stated earlier. We got classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then we got the Sabbath class every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and camp every Saturday from 2 p.m. until on Hollywood Boulevard, right across from Jimmy Kimmel Live. You know what I mean? For anyone that is trying to, wants to see where we at, wants to pull up, man. I know for all y'all out there that think y'all know more than us, that think y'all know something, well, we're at camp on Hollywood Boulevard, 2 p.m. every Saturday, man, until right across the street from Jimmy Kimmel Live, man. Go ahead and bring it, man. Bring that battle you want to bring. You know what I mean? We'll definitely battle y'all. But with that, man, that concludes tonight's class. We'll be back at it again next week. With that, shalom, Israel.